What is the real rural area in China like? Hi, I am Abo. I live in a small county town in China. Today is China's Lungboat Festival, an annual family reunion day. Today, I want to honestly share my rural hometown. My hometown is in the mountains. Need to drive for 1.5 hours. The past China. 80% of the population lives in rural areas. But with the rapid development of industrialization, driving, urbanization, the rural population is also gradually shifting towards cities. Nowadays, in most rural areas of China, the most intuitive feeling is loneliness. There are no educational resources here, and children have to travel to rural areas to go to school. There is also no comprehensive medical insurance. I have to go to a town 10 kilometers away to buy medicine. There are no job opportunities. Even if it's farming, it may not necessarily be able to support oneself. No supermarkets, no takeout, no entertainment. Young people have all fled the countryside. Only some elderly people remain here. China has a large land area, and our area is rural in Zhejiang. The rural construction in each province varies greatly. Building a house in China requires government approval. For example, in mountainous areas where there is no land, houses can only be tightly connected together. This is my hometown house, located in the center of the village. At noon, my mother prepared a meal and waited for us to go back for dinner. Today, there are still my cousin and brother-in-law. My dad happened to be out.
玉斌，
Next, let me show you my house. This is my kitchen. There are no particularly expensive appliances. There is a Samsung refrigerator that has been in use for 20 years. This is a unique earthen stove in rural China, which uses firewood for cooking. I found a scene of my mother and wife cooking last year. You can take a look at how this earthen stove is used. A plate of delicious fried rice noodles. In rural China, electric tricycles do have dual functions of transportation and cargo loading. On the left side of the second floor is my parents' room, and on the right side is a living room. The sofa and TV were purchased for my family after I started working. There is a small balcony outside where you can dry clothes. The third floor is my room. The other room on the third floor, where I used to live when I was a child, is now vacant. There are miscellaneous items piled up on the fourth floor. This kind of house is very ordinary in our area. It's a pity that everyone is building big houses, but there aren't many people living in them. This is the ancestral hall in the village. Every year during the Chinese New Year, some ancestor worship ceremonies are held here. I found a video of last year's ancestral worship ceremony. It was very lively. The excitement in the countryside lasts only a few days. After the end of the year, as soon as the people left, the village immediately quieted down. According to the rules of the older generation in our mountains, men must start a family before the age of 30. I got married at the age of 28 and later had a daughter, so my life moved forward step by step. After having a child, without a house in the county town, there would be no school district, and the child would not be able to enter a good school. So that's why I want to buy a house in the city. The big environment and everyone are pushing you forward, and I used to be very unclear. I only realized after taking on a mortgage that it's not as simple as owing a sum of money. This means I cannot get sick, rest, or stop. I used to have a stable and good job. However, in recent years, China seems to have fallen into an economic crisis. I'm also unemployed. I am very anxious. I will find that besides using a camera, I know nothing else. So now I'm just turning the camera facing the customer in a different direction and aiming it at myself. I started trying to create self-media videos, hoping to increase some income. I am 36 years old this year and about to turn 37. According to traditional standards in rural China, I am a successful person with a house, a car, and a family. However, after becoming a mortgage slave, my stress increased dramatically. Others may look good, but only oneself knows that it's actually very difficult. On the other hand, this is my route. My relatives are still here. In the morning, I specially went to the mall to buy some snacks and beer, which are all loved by my family. Although my family understands my financial difficulties, every time I go back, I always prepare something. For example, my grandmother, an 80-year-old woman, likes to eat snacks, but has diabetes, so I will choose some salty snacks for her. My parents like to drink beer and eat braised food, so I also bought some.
老婆，哎，老婆，哎，
你别说我们打字是不是？哎，朗读一看呀，成都那个朗读大的那个。
啊，这一天名字是。
一个妈，这他是那个也几但是有点不看的。那个金融这个包的，价值高超。
现在说下周可能去唯一大概。
呢？
说啊，我说。
哦。
你干嘛？你减肥啊？到周一啊？
哦。你那个就下周多好点味嘞。
约回来，干约回来。
哦。那从哪种钱了
？In middle age, people are like this, holding on to a small family in the city, having to bear the mortgage and raise children. Holding on to our hometown in the mountains, we must remember the elderly.
我现在做那个皮皮，在身上是发一皮的，也好一点。
你也是啊？
我是啊，好一点。这个男的干的都没写的。
你思想。
哎呀，这个啦，好怕。我是这么的。今天我也不管你打鱼哦。你吃也一吃了，吃让妈的拿过去。
After a brief reunion, I have to return to the county town and continue to strive. This is my real life,